Men are being arrested for buying Bitcoin. So they're definitely cracking down on things now. And this is one of the things that you do have to understand when it comes to crypto. I'm still a big proponent of crypto. However, there are more and more arrests occurring in the crypto space. This is actually very, very recent. So the crypto mixer founders have been convicted as US government cracks down. So the US government is actually cracking down on cryptocurrency. They're cracking down on people who buy it, sell it, trade it, and more so on people who create services that they deem are facilitating laundering. So this is actually intriguing. And it's one of the first times it's actually happened. The United States Attorney's Office in Massachusetts filed a civil forfeiture action on Wednesday aimed at returning $2.3 million in cryptocurrency to 37 victims of online scams and fraud. The cryptocurrencies, which include nearly 300,000 USDC, so that's a stable coin that's pegged to the United States dollar. So that's basically for every one of those coins it'd be worth right around a dollar. 1.5 million USDT. So that's another stable coin. So that's Tether. I believe that's Tether. I think that's Tether. So that's pegged to the United States dollar. So that's actually a lot. That would be equivalent to $1.5 million. Then 102,000 Tron. So TRX, that's Tron. There's 3,000 SOL, and then 14,000 ADA. And they were seized from two Binance accounts in January following an investigation last spring into a pig butchering scam targeting Massachusetts residents. Kind of interesting. But it's the people who they actually went after that I find kind of interesting. The victim of the scam was tricked into forking over $400,000 to the scammers, who transferred the funds to other wallets that investigators then connected to funds from the other 37 victims. The civil forfeiture action is a required step in the forfeiture process that allows third parties to make claims to the property before the funds can eventually be returned to the victims. The people who are going to be collecting a lot of this are going to be the lawyers. Let's just be clear. The USAO's action closely follows last week's news that the U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago has seized $1.4 million in Tether from an unhosted virtual cryptocurrency wallet tied to a suspected tech support scam targeting the elderly. Tether voluntarily assisted with the recovery of those assets, burning the funds tied to the alleged scammers and reissuing them in other government-controlled wallets to be returned to the victims. This is very, very dangerous. So I didn't even know Tether could do this, but basically, Tether, for them to achieve something like this, they were able to burn the funds that were being held by others, and then they reissued those funds. That's absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And that's one of the reasons why you have to be very, very careful, because some of these so-called cryptocurrencies are actually centralized, and the companies that make the crypto, they have back doors that allow them to seize the cryptocurrency. Okay, so this is absolutely a dream. This is the type of thing that you would see with the United States government doing when they create their own cryptocurrency, which are digital currency, where they can basically seize it and recover it any time. So this is why they say you will own nothing and be happy. That's why they want a digital only currency. They don't want you to own physical money anymore. They want fiat currency to remain, but they all want it to be digital. Okay, digital dollar, so that it can be traced at any given moment's notice. Okay, it can always be traced. It can always be taken away from you. You do not own a damn thing. You own nothing. You own nothing, and you will be happy. That's really how it is with these people. Now, going further into this, Roman Sterling, age 35, was found guilty in a United States court on Tuesday, March 12th. The charges against him include money laundering, money laundering conspiracy, operating an unlicensed money transmitting business, and violations of the DC Money Transmitters Act. Sterling Gov maintained his innocence through the trial, asserting he was merely a service user, not its operator. However, the evidence presented during the trial painted a different picture. And I think this is absolutely ridiculous. Bitcoin Fog, operated by Sterling from October 2011 to April 2021, facilitated the laundering of over 1.2 million Bitcoin, worth approximately $400 million at the time of the transaction. The majority of these funds were sourced from darknet marketplaces associated with so allegedly illegal activities, and the service provided a platform for alleged criminals to conceal the origins of their illicit proceeds from law enforcement. Basically, they're trying to argue that if you have these things called mixers, and you can send your funds to a mixer, and it can basically mix the funds so that it makes it more difficult to track where the funds came from or where the funds have gone. And they're trying to crack down on you being able to basically make it difficult for law enforcement or anyone else to know how you spend your money. This is a very, very strange thing. It's not, and this is really where I think that, like, it's getting very, very, very problematic. At all given times, the government wants to be able to account for however you use your money. Like, that's why they're cracking down on gamers. That's why they're putting gamers under surveillance, because they want to know where you are at all moments, every moment of the day. They have to know where you are. How do you spend your money? Where are you spending money? They have to know where that money is. Then money doesn't belong to you. That money belongs to them. They only allow you to keep a portion of it. Guys, something that many of you don't even realize: the United States dollar, the coins, all of that stuff. It is illegal to destroy money. I bet you didn't know that. Like, when you watch movies and you see someone, like, light a cigar with a bill, that's actually a crime. They are committing a serious crime, a federal crime, when they destroy money. If you, for example, there actually a number of years ago, people wanted to melt down pennies because you can make more money melting the pennies down than you could than the actual coin, than the value of the coin was worth itself. So, you know the copper that was in a penny, the material used to make a penny, was more valuable than the penny itself. And the United States government said, no, you cannot do this. And if you do it, we will throw you in jail for doing it, because you do not actually own that money. We basically loan that money to you as a unit representing wealth. You don't physically own your money. It's an amazing thing. This is one of the reasons why, why the future is really cryptocurrency and gold. Because while they can seize your cryptocurrency, they have to actually go after it. They can seize they actually have to physically go after it. In the case of something like Tether, this is just another example why you want to stay away from Tether. But when it comes to investigate, they have to find your passwords. It's not, they have to put in some form of work to get your money. And there are different things you can do to protect yourself, including, separating your funds across different private wallets, and, putting something away, putting a private wallet away in a place where they can't access it. Like, there's a family who they keep all of their money in cryptocurrency, and then they spread those funds out across different continents. And whenever they need money, they fly to another continent. Like, the dad flies to another continent to go and get that money, to go get some money from crypto, and that's it. And they have these hardware wallets, like, spread out across the world. And I thought that these people were crazy at first. But then I look at what's happening in Western society, and then you realize you really don't own anything. You own nothing. I mean, even when it comes to land, and we say, okay, well, we're going to go and buy some land, you never physically own that land. What do I mean by that? Well, you purchase the land, you are responsible for the land. And here's the thing: if you miss your tax payments on that land, the government will come and seize the land from you. So, did you ever actually own the land? No, you didn't. In Mexico, for example, they have these ancestral lands where these lands are owned by entire families, like, that go back generations, and they live on the land. They build on the land. They can always go back, and they always have that land. Sometimes they can sell the land, although it can be difficult to do it if there are multiple people involved. But that land provides for them, and it provides for their families. The sad thing, however, is that we don't have anything like that in the US anymore. Like, you cannot actually own this land anymore. You buy land, if you miss your taxes, those property taxes, it's gone. You will own nothing and be happy. In other countries, you can own a piece of land and that's it. It's your property and there's nothing else. There's no more taxes on it. Like some places in Africa, I've learned you can own a piece of land and the government cannot come and just seize. They'd have to actually seize the property from you to take the land. So they would have to confiscate your land. That's the only way they can take it, is if they confiscate the land from you. In Western society, you don't actually own anything. You don't actually own the land. You don't actually own the land. They can take it from you at any. If you don't pay your taxes, it's gone. You never truly own anything. It's a sad, sad reality. By the way, guys, don't forget that I have a channel called Angry, where I discuss gaming, anime, geek stuff, nerd stuff, real world stuff, and whatever else interests me. There's a link to that channel in the description of the video. Go check it out, subscribe, and support my work. I also have another channel called Men Walking Away, where I discuss more topics like the one we're discussing right here. So if you want even more content like this, go and check out the Men Walking Away channel. There's a link to it in the description of the video, along with a link to the other channel. Go subscribe to my channel, support my work. What do you guys think about this? Men are being arrested for buying Bitcoin. I want to hear your thoughts on this, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and chill.